Hello, it's Philip Cargon. It's Tea with a Druid number 82. Welcome, and do join me here for this session. So, as usual, do say your name, say where you're from. It'll be great to see you, and it means I can tell whether the system is working, whether you can hear me correctly, and so on. So do draw up a log and join in. And Natasha, how wonderful, has joined us. Hi, Natasha from Sweden. Natasha helped to put on the Midsummer Magic Camp in Sweden a few weeks back over the summer solstice, and it was just such a fantastic event. It really was. I can still feel the water of the lake, and here we have Isalinda from Portugal, and Daniel from Germany, and Anne from Allenville, New York, and Alan from Ballina in Killaloa, County Tipperary. Hooray! Okay, so great to see you here. So this week, what I thought I'd talk about with you is on the topic of meditation. I've received some emails recently talking about how people are finding it difficult to meditate, how having a regular practice is proving hard. And I think one of the insights perhaps that Druidry offers is that life moves in phases. Nature isn't uniform and flat. And so there's no one simple single formula that suits every single person. It's very attractive to be able to offer one formula, one mantra, one particular way of meditating that you say will work for everybody. But I personally don't believe that that's the way life works, and that there will be periods in our life when meditation isn't for us. Either the events that are occurring in our lives, or for whatever subtle reason about our spiritual and psychological development, it's not a time for us to meditate regularly. And then at a different phase in our life, there will come a time when we will feel a call to deepen and to meditate regularly. And that's the time to do this. But what I wanted to share with you was a particular understanding that I think is that I have found very helpful, which is when psychologists talk about meditation, they broadly define the techniques in two categories: open monitoring and focused attention. And so the focused attention kind of meditation will be the one where you take a particular sound as a mantra, a particular object that you either visualize internally or you look at externally, such as a candle flame, or the breath. You focus on the breath, etc. So you focus your attention, and of course your mind wanders away from that focus of attention. And the whole work is that what you discover is, as you keep bringing your mind back, slowly over time you get more and more focused and more practiced, and that it's not that you're making, that you're failing when your mind wanders. That's part of the process. That's what the mind does. But as you keep coming back to that focus, gradually you start to deepen the experience and enter into altered states of consciousness. But there's another kind of meditation, which is called open monitoring, which is where you don't focus your attention and you simply notice. So for example, if we do this now, you might just want to close your eyes for a moment and just become aware of whatever it is that is happening in your awareness without trying to change it. And so what might happen is, now if you just open your eyes again, and I'll just talk about it a little more, what happens there is you might find yourself having thoughts, you might find yourself noticing a particular body sensation, your attention being drawn to a certain part of the body. There's a whole range of different experiences you can have. And there's a way in open monitoring, sometimes it's called sitting, where you're just doing a sitting meditation, is you just sit and you just notice whatever is occurring in your system. And again, the more you do it, the more you find you can go deeper and deeper. You become aware of all sorts of interesting things that are happening. In sophrology, which I practice, which is a very helpful discipline, we have short periods, which we call integration pauses, where we simply, after a particular exercise, we simply stop for a moment, close our eyes, and just go still and just notice whatever is occurring in our awareness. And that's different to getting lost in thought. It's different to having fantasy. It's different to becoming preoccupied. There's a kind of detachment that we have as we just observe the sensations and thoughts. And those two styles, one style will suit one person, another style will suit another person. But what I'd like to suggest is that actually those two dynamics are occurring all the time in our meditation. And in fact, from a Druidic perspective, it's helpful perhaps to think of open focus like the chalice of our awareness, opening up and just being open to whatever experience is occurring. And then switching to the blade of focus and attention. And we can move back and forth between those two modes. And over time, it starts to become natural and easy. To begin with, you might have to think about, oh, should I be being open now? Or should I now be focusing on an image or a sound or a topic? But after a while, you're able to modulate between these two in a kind of rhythm that suits you. So what I find personally is that on some days, I need to do more focused attention so that my meditation somehow needs to be focused, and I need to focus on the breath or a mantra or an image, and to keep bringing my awareness back to this focused attention. And I know it helps my concentration, I know it helps my focus, because I can be quite scattered. My awareness likes to roam free all over the place. And so it's a really good exercise for me to develop that focus. But what I also do is I know when the time has come to flip and to open my awareness. And just be still and just notice whatever is occurring. And in the kind of meditations that we do in Druidry, where we will often use natural imagery, such as a clearing in the forest, or taking a journey through a natural landscape, or imagining that we're sitting on top of a mountain or beside a lake or beside a waterfall, and allowing that to calm us and to take us deeper. These meditations in nature are actually ideal for modulating between focus and openness, between focused attention and open monitoring kinds of meditation. So let's actually experience this now. And I'll talk about it as we do the meditation, and so you can see, just to give you a little feel for it. And I would be so interested afterwards. You know, the usual format with these talks is they're very brief. We'll be finished in 11 minutes. But what is great is just even in this brief time, there's a feeling of connection between us all around the earth. And then your comments are the most wonderful opportunity for us to hear from people all over the world who have similar or perhaps different points of view. So I'd be so grateful if, after you've had this experience, if you would type in how you feel about it. You don't have to do it right away. You can do it tomorrow, or you can do it in an hour's time, or after you've had a little think about it. I will go away and have some tea and come back and read them. So try this now, if you will, and of course you can just listen to this and then do it again at another time when it's appropriate. But just, if you'd like to join me now, just close your eyes to better focus on yourself and become aware of being seated in front of your computer or your tablet or phone. And also there's a way in which, as you close your eyes, you can be fully anchored in this reality where you are physically. But you can also allow your imagination to imagine that you're actually in a clearing in the forest, in a sacred grove of the Druids. Breathing in deeply, holding for just a moment, and then letting a breath out, and just letting yourself relax, and just to let go to the awareness of being seated in the clearing. As you become aware of this, become aware of the earth beneath you. Sense how it's grounding and stabilizing. Feel all the energy in this earth, the living creatures, the soil. And just sense how the energy of the earth is gently rising up into your being, bringing with it a sense of calm. And you move your focus of attention now to the trees around you, which you might see with your inner eye, or you might just sense, feel the presence of these beautiful trees, their roots deep in the earth, their trunks soaring upwards, and the branches and boughs, and the leaves. And there's a strong sense of life here, of the presence of the spirits of the trees, our brothers and sisters on this planet. So peaceful and protective too, this sense of protection and stability coming from the trees. And then move your awareness now to the sky above you. And as you breathe in the energy of the sky. And you sense it as vitalizing, as energizing. The energy of the sky meets the energy of the earth within the center of your being. And pause for a moment and just be open to your experience now, without judging it or analyzing it or even thinking about it, just allowing whatever sensations you might be feeling in your body or your awareness or your energy field, just allow those sensations. Just notice them. And now, what you're doing, you see, is in the first beginning of the meditation, you were using focused attention. You were focusing on my voice, on the imagery that I was suggesting. You were focusing on the earth and the trees and the air. And then when I suggested you just focus on your experience, there's a whole range of different experiences you could have had. You might simply have become aware of body sensations, feelings of energy. You might have had thoughts. You might have found your mind wandering. But whatever your experience has been, let's now practice shifting from that open monitoring to focus. And so now just you're in the grove, and now just imagine that you're placing, it's very easy for you to just place a palm of your hand on the earth and just sense that earth and focus on the earth beneath you. You lift your palm up and you're still aware of the earth beneath you. And the sense of stability beneath you. Move your focus now to your breath. And just sense yourself as a breathing organism with the earth beneath you, seated on the earth. And then just open yourself to just monitoring, open monitoring, just being aware of whatever you're sensing and feeling without judging it. Back to the trees now. Just focus on the trees. Maybe you see them. Maybe you just sense them. Maybe you can smell them. You can smell the scent of the forest. Just focus on them for a moment. And then let go of that focus and just be like an open chalice, receptive to whatever you're experiencing. And then gradually become aware of being in the sacred grove. Sense your companions from around the world in the sacred grove too. And imagine the love and the light and the energy from this sacred clearing. The peace, the calm, and the stability just radiating out. That peace might prevail on earth. And then you might like to touch your heart with the palm of your hand. As you do that, doing it physically, you start to become aware of your physical body. You allow your visualization or your awareness of the sacred grove to fade as you find yourself becoming more and more aware of being seated in front of your computer or your laptop or your tablet, fully present in your physical body, feeling the warmth of the palm of your hand on your heart, feeling fully present here and now. And when you feel ready, you open your eyes. So I'm sorry, I hear some of you have said the sound wasn't working very well. I've come to this special place here precisely to get good broadband. I'm sorry that if it's not working well. Harriet Louis-Frey-Sams is saying, this analogy is perfect, the focused sword and the open chalice. This is exactly how I experience meditation as it progresses. My body becomes widely connected to the universe, held in the Charlie. I think you mean held in the chalice, but the autocorrect has corrected it. Oh yeah, you've said chalice there. I like our daughter's called Charlie, and she's lovely. So being held in the Charlie sounds great. So yes, so that I think the reason why. Well, look, I really look forward to Kent Bjornsson. Quite a revelation to me. It seems I tend to start my meditation with the open monitoring and then later narrow it down to a more focused state. If I'm tired or preoccupied by something, it's so much harder to reach this focused blade. I guess it's all okay, and a good thing to experience these variations. Exactly. This is exactly, Kent, why I mentioned this, I think, because once we understand that there are these two modes, then you don't have to kind of try to get back to focused attention when you feel you should be doing that. Or if you are doing sitting meditation where you're just being open, you keep kind of getting annoyed the fact that you're focusing in or zeroing in on something. The reality is, I think our awareness moves all the time between chalice and blade. It moves all the time between being focused and being open. If you think about, let's go back to our primitive roots, if you like, of hunting. On the one hand, as human beings, from an evolutionary perspective, we had to be tuned into everything, have a very open, be very open in our awareness to sounds all the way around from behind us, everywhere, and also aware of our own state, so we could walk as smoothly and as silently as possible through the forest. But then we also had to develop a kind of laser-like focus when we were tracking an animal, for instance. So, and it can be quite interesting, once you've got this, it can be interesting to do your meditation, just to notice, as a part of you will notice, I feel like moving from focused attention to open monitoring now, and vice versa. And then when you start to observe what's happening, something very interesting occurs. You find that the liminal state between focused attention and open monitoring is when it's like the unconscious or awen or the spirit can flood in, and you enter a deeper state. You can go to sleep, you can go maybe drop from alpha into theta brain waves, or you can drop from beta into alpha. You can do all sorts of interesting things. And in fact, what can often happen is that you can go into this liminal state for a few seconds or moments, and some material comes in. You suddenly realize you're seeing like a dream sequence, if you like, or sequence of images or symbols. But you're sufficiently alert because you're meditating to be conscious of that. And then you move into an open state or focused state. And that has brought you deeper. Your general level is deeper or higher, depending on which way you want to look at it, or broader. So there we go. It's a hugely rich area. And I hope this has been helpful. And do please think about this and write about it. I would be so interested to hear your thoughts on this. And have a wonderful week. And many, many blessings, and much love to you. Bye.